I've been lucky over the years to review some really cool watches, Rolex, Patek, the tag that I'm wearing here. But I have to say, I still get excited to review new G-Shocks that are coming out. Going back to being born in the 80s and growing up in the 90s, that I think the G-Shock really just resonates with me. There is multiple releases every year, so it's not that easy to keep up with them. But this one in particular, I thought was pretty cool. So I've ended up buying two versions of these, and this is the new G-Shock with the elastic, the bungee style strap. This is the squares. Now this one is coming in at around the $165 mark, and it is using one of their more basic modules. So let's flip the camera around, we'll dive into the review and see whether the extra uplift of the price up to $165 is worth it for the coolness factor of having this elastic strap. So we've got two versions of this watch. Both of them come in the G-Shock recyclable packaging. Not a great deal to talk about here. Most of it is paper. I'm presuming this little bag is also recyclable as well, or made from renewable materials. There is three in total, the third one being an all black version. If you've seen my channel before or seen one of my G-Shock reviews, you'll know that I really don't like the negative display G-Shock, so that was the one I opted not to buy. And these weren't sent in by Casio US, as sometimes Casios that I get are sent in by them. But these two I bought straight from the website on the day of release. They're $165 each here in the US, plus the postage and the tax. So let's decide as we go through that whether these were worth the money or not. So we've got two different versions here. This light grey with the yellow, the fluorescent yellow, the neon yellow, and then this darker grey one with a orange and blue accents on the fabric strap. Now, I did think that I would really like this dark grey one from the images that were on the website, but honestly, in person, I'm not too crazy about how dark the yellow of the backing of the LCD is. Not a huge fan of that. I'll wear it for a little bit though and see whether I warm to it. But one of the cool things about this, and definitely something that we've noted on the last couple of G-Shock reviews, is this LCD is very clear. There is no distortion on any of the different angles as we move it around. This has got multiple different viewing angles, and the numbers and other information look very sharp. But that's probably about as exciting as this module gets that they've put in these watches, because this is using one of their more basic modules, the 3525. This is one of their battery-powered modules, so we haven't got anything cool like Tough Solar. Has a 5-year battery in it using a CR2016 battery. Also, the functions are the basic functions as well. So we've got the date up here, the time. It'll also do 24-hour. We've got multiple alarms, the countdown timer, stopwatch, and then we're back to the main time. So there's nothing cool in here. There's no multi-band 6, no Bluetooth, no Tough Solar, no world time. It is just literally their basic battery-powered module, which for $165, I guess you make your own decision whether that's good value or not. I'm not totally convinced. I think they could have done a Tough Solar one on here, or certainly put a Bluetooth module in. But the highlight of the show for this one, the USP for this one, is this new strap that they put on here. It's not the first time that we've seen elastic or fabric straps on G-Shocks, of course, but this is the first time that they've included this locking mechanism, which they've called the Fidlock system, which they've gone to the effort of trademarking that name as well. Now, when we looked at the ProTrek, the ProTrek had a bungee cord that you pulled this out and basically flipped that back, and that's how you attached it to your wrist. And I thought this one might be the same, but all of this part is just a little handle to open the clasp. The clasp itself is magnetic, and the magnet itself appears to be behind this epoxy that they've inlaid into the clasp. There's a little hook on the inside that it latches to. So essentially, if you're pulling it that way, it is locked in, but then it's very easy for you to just pull it forwards and open it. And then to adjust the strap for your wrist size, move this part up and down. There obviously is, with this being elasticated, there's also some give in it as well. So you probably want to make this a little bit smaller than your actual wrist size to make sure it's secured on your wrist. If you notice on this side, there is two fixed spring bars, one to attach this part of the strap to, so that is actually sewn into there. And then the other part of the strap is sewn onto the back of this fixed lug here, and then it folds through that. So this one just has one fixed spring bar, whereas this one has two that the different parts of the strap are actually sewn onto. It has the bio-based resin case. We've talked about it on the channel before. Their bio-based resin doesn't mean that the watch itself is biodegradable. It means that they use renewable sources. It's castor seed and corn that they end up making a plastic or a resin out of, and that's what makes these cases. So the case itself isn't biodegradable. I thought this one was going to be my favorite, but I'm really not convinced in person about how dark yellow backing of the LCD is. I much prefer, even though this case is a lot lighter, I much prefer the silver that they've used for the backing of this LCD on the light grey one. This light grey, the differences are that the strap itself is majority grey, except for we have this neon yellow, which isn't fluorescent, it doesn't glow in the dark or anything, it's just a neon color. And the same with the clasp, we can see the magnet. Very quickly on the wrist, you can easily do this one-handed. This is such an easy attachment system. Even though this clasp is really cool, I do have a concern about how easy it is to unlatch this. I think you could perhaps catch this on a cuff or something else and then it unlatch the clasp itself quite easily. Even if it did unlatch, technically it is still attached to your wrist because of this elastic loop, but due to the size of this clasp, if it is quite easy to unhook it just by catching it on something, I imagine that'll be quite annoying over time. Maybe we'll do a long-term test and I'll come back after a couple of weeks and let you know how I got on. As you'd expect, extremely comfortable. Of course it would be. The G-Shock itself is incredibly light at 53 grams, and then you add that to an elastic strap, which fits very comfortably on the wrist. The watch itself is a 48.9 millimeter from lug to lug, and then a 42.8 case width, and then a 13.4 millimeter thickness. Of course, it is going to be slightly longer than that. It's going to protrude slightly longer than that because you do have these overhanging pieces there, although they do hug the wrist very nicely. My wrist here is a 7.2 inches and it doesn't overhang whatsoever. So that's the light grey on the wrist. Let's fire up the other one and put that one on the wrist. So this one came a little bit bigger for my wrist, so I'm just going to move that part back, attach it again, super easy. And here we go. That is the light grey on the wrist there with the blue and yellow, or blue, yellow keeper and orange strap. Again, exactly the same case measurements, 200 meters water resistance. Of course, it's a G-Shock, so it's shock resistance, mineral crystal, as you'd expect on here. I can't imagine they could make one that's more comfortable than this. You hardly feel it on the wrist just because of how light it is. Certainly more comfortable than some of the resin straps that you get on G-Shocks. $165. I really like these straps. They've done an excellent job of that. I'm wondering whether these will start showing up on more G-Shocks because they've gone to all of that effort to specially design this clasp and then trademark the name. So maybe it'll start showing up on other G-Shocks. Maybe they were just testing it out on the square ones to start with and see how it sold. I think for $165, yeah, that is on the sort of the premium end of what you would pay for a G-Shock with this module in it for sure, but I think that's a reasonable price. I think that you've got to let me know in the comment section down below whether you think that's a reasonable price or not. So there was my opinion on the two new G-Shocks. I think they're pretty cool, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok, and I'll see you next time on Casual Watch Reviews. Thanks, guys. Bye.